Hello and welcome back to the Baggies Podcast YouTube channel, where of course we're giving you all the latest news, views and opinions on all things Albion. Back again today with another match preview for you. We're going to be chatting about the EFL Championship clash between West Bromwich Albion and Queen's Park Rangers, which kicks off at the Kyan Prince Foundation Stadium at 3 o'clock on Saturday. Looking forward to this one as ever, another game and I'm going to say must win really for Albion. I think it's a huge game and one that Albion have to have a real go at. So yeah, today's video will be the preview for that game. If you want to hear a bit of a scout reporting on a QPR position report, some head-to-heads between the two sides, predicted lineups for both teams, a bit of an insight into both sides, then you're in the right place. This is our match preview, which we do for every single game. So make sure you subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Make sure you drop a like and comment your score predictions and thoughts ahead of the game. I'd love to hear them. But yeah, let's crack on with this match preview for West Bromwich Albion versus Queen's Park Rangers. So let's get started. Let's talk about QPR first, because they're a really interesting side. Of course, the last meeting between the two sides was early on this season, where we beat QPR 2-1 at the Hawthorns. Yeah, they're doing really well in the league at the moment, 5th in the Championship. Could overtake West Brom, it should be said, with a win at the Kyan Prince Foundation Stadium. QPR sat in 5th, Albion sat, of course, in 4th place. Yeah, I feel like Mark Warburton's a very good manager. Let's firstly get that out of the way. You know, I think former Nottingham Forest, former Brentford manager, former Rangers manager as well, doing a really good job implementing a sort of possession-based style and into the QPR side. They've had 55.4% average possession this season. If that's the 5th in the league, that's it's more than Albion, I think. So yeah, I feel like he's implemented a nice bit of footballing philosophy. If you recall the last meeting between the two sides, you'll remember that there was a lot of good football on show, particularly from QPR, and they'd had us at arm's length really for 60 minutes of the game before Karlan Grant's first shot was sort of tipped into the net by Seny Dieng, and then the second goal from Karlan Grant obviously won the game for Albion. So you'll feel, if you're a QPR fan, that you perhaps should have held out there, and you'll be hopeful going into this game to have a look and see really how it is. So yeah, I feel like QPR play some nice football, of course, as we saw them knocking it around quite well at the Hawthorns. Their top scorers, they have 3 joint top scorers in Chris Willock, Elias Chair, and also Lyndon Dykes, who are all on 6 goals for the season. 6 goals for the season, which is pretty decent. They're sort of sharing the goals about. It's not really a main goal scorer in the side, but they're clearly doing a good job of getting in the goals, yeah, and keeping the scoring momentum going. Yeah, their sort of league record stands at 24 games played, 12 wins, 5 draws, 7 losses, and 41 points on the board. Albion with 42. So yeah, just behind Albion in terms of placing, just one point behind. Also with a game less played than Albion as well, we should probably mention too. But former West Bromwich Albion players, QPR are packed full of that sort of stuff. They've got plenty of former West Bromwich Albion players in their ranks that will probably get a game on Saturday. They've got Charlie Austin, who played 45 times for Albion, scoring a total of 11 goals. Stefan Johansson, who played 14 times, scoring a total of 2 goals on loan from Fulham. Really liked Johansson. Really, I would say I thought he was a really good player, and I thought we perhaps should have gone for him and hopefully kept him for another Championship season, but that wasn't to be. I thought he was a great player. Chris Willock, of course, the player that scored against us for Huddersfield last season last time we were in the Championship, and nearly cost us a place in the Premier League, possibly. Thankfully not to be. Didn't make an appearance and didn't score a goal for Albion's senior side. Played a lot of games for the under-23s, I think, whilst on loan from Benfica. So he's another former Baggie who's in the QPR lineup. Sam Field as well. 45 games played and 2 goals scored. I miss Sam Field. I thought he'd have done a really nice job. Maybe not in this system, but he never seemed to sort of have that pace about him that would really ensure that he could nail down a starting spot. So yeah, I liked him a lot. I thought he was a really decent player, and I thought he was really one for the future. But Clearly not. Clearly not for Albion. Going up, was on loan at QPR, and then went into for a permanent deal after the completion of that loan as well. So shame to see Sam Field not play, but and not get a real chance at Albion, in my opinion. 45 games. He's played quite a few games, to be fair. I think he played quite a lot during the 17-18 season, if I remember rightly. But yeah, in terms of their home form, QPR obviously at home on Saturday. They've got 6 wins, 3 draws, and 3 losses. So yeah, they'll be looking for a win. The home form's not great. I think their away form is a lot better, but they'll be looking for a win here against Albion. They'll be smelling blood with sort of Albion's form and how they've been getting on recently. Let's now have a look at a bit of a predicted 11 for Rangers. Really, they've got a decent side together, in my opinion. Lots of very good Championship quality players in there, managed of course by Mark Warburton. In goal, I think David Marshall's probably going to start. They do have other options at goalkeeper. Obviously, Seny Dieng is away at the African Cup of Nations, but David Marshall, just signed from Derby County, could be the chance for him to make his debut in the QPR starting 11. Then a back three of Yohan Barbe, formerly of Brentford. Jimmy Dunn, formerly of Burnley, at centre back as well in a back three. They're probably going to try and match Albion almost, really. Rob Dickie, of course, scored some really nice goals at the start of this season. Formerly of Oxford United as well. Then in the wing back spots, we've got Albert Adoma, of course, former Villa man. Then we got Lee Wallace at left wing back. A midfield two, of course, of an Albion. For Albion, I think midfield two it's going to be Stefan Johansson and also, of course, Sam Field as well. And then Chris Willock just sort of in front of them in the centre attacking midfield position with Lyndon Dykes, of course, the Scottish international, and Andre Gray as well. So formerly of Watford, him. Of course, we remember Andre Gray because there was lots of rumours in the summer linking us with him. Were we looking at him, that sort of thing. So yeah, interesting stuff, but I do think they've got a very good side, and I do think they can do a really good job this season. QPR and have shown to do that. They've done a sensational job so far this season, and yeah, they'll be wanting further success this time out against Albion. In terms of Albion, of course, the Baggies Podcast YouTube channel loves to get involved in the team that they're covering. Fourth in the Championship. At the moment, could gain ground on Blackburn with 46 points in third place. Obviously, Albion with 42 if we were to win. This is a big game, especially for a certain Daryl DK, who could make his debut. He's trained since his arrival, been put on a 4-week training plan. He's 2 weeks into that now, so he could be in. I feel like he's going to come off the bench from what I was hearing from Joe Massey. I think that's the case. He's going to play. He's going to play off the bench and try and get involved off there. So, yeah. I feel like there's a lot to look forward to with Daryl DK. I hope that he can get a few minutes out there against QPR. Of course, it'd be really nice for him to get those minutes and get him involved. It's trained since his arrival, as I said, so you're sort of going for a bit of a pre-season, but maybe if we can get him 25, 30 minutes on the pitch, that would be amazing. We're without quite a few players for this game. There's several that I'm actually going to have to read off the list here. Right, as I've got here. We got Dara O'Shea injured, Cian Bryan injured, Robert Snodgrass injured. We've got Alex Mowat suspended, Sam Johnston suspended, Cedric Kipre suspended, and Shemi Ajayi away with Nigeria on international duty. Of course, did beat Mo Salah's Egypt the other day. Nigeria did in the African Cup of Nations. I mean, our away form isn't pretty. It's 4 wins, 4 draws, 5 losses. It's not been great so far this season, and starting to get a little concerned. To be honest, I'm starting to get a little worried about that sort of thing. We don't really score enough goals away from home, and we do find ourselves lacking when we sort of go into other teams' patches. But then again, we struggle equally when teams park 11 men behind the ball against us as well at home. So see how we get on against QPR. They are a team that likes to sort of knock the ball about. So we'll see how we can kind of cope with that and see how we get on. Predicted 11 for Albion. I've gone in goal David Button. Of course, started against Brighton, and due to Sam Johnston's suspension, I'm sure that David Button will probably come back into the side. Let's hope he's toned down a bit of that sweeping. I hope that he's sort of calmed himself down with that, because that was a bit worrying to watch last time out. Then in the other 2 centre-back roles, we've gone for Carl Bartley and Matt Clark, with right wing back Donald Furlong, of course, formerly of QPR, left wing back Connor Townsend, and a midfield 2 of Jason Malumbi and Taylor Gardner-Hickman, and a front 3 of Grady Dean Garner, Matt Phillips, and Karlan Grant. Just simply because I don't think Daryl DK will be will be fit enough for this one. I feel like he's going to have to sit it out and come on after, with about 20 minutes left to have a game. In terms of previous meetings between the two sides, I mentioned last time was a 2-1 win for Albion at home against QPR. Then the fixture before that was the one that we, of course, gained promotion with a 2-2 draw at home against QPR behind closed doors. Then a 2-0 win for Albion against QPR when Nathan Ferguson and Mateus Pereira scored the goals. Then a 3-2 victory against QPR in the season where we also beat them 7-1 at home. Of course, a very good performance from Albion. But that's all you need to know, really, about this game between QPR and West Bromwich Albion. I'm probably going to say West Brom 1, QPR 0 with a Daryl DK winner because I'm a real optimist. But make sure you comment your predictions and thoughts down below. Make sure you subscribe if you've enjoyed the video. And that just brings me to the end of this match preview. Make sure you subscribe and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.